On a seemingly ordinary day in the Indonesian archipelago, life unfolded as it always had, with the gentle rhythm of village life and the promise of a new dawn. But beneath the surface, the earth stirred, preparing to remind us of its untamable power. The reminder came in the form of a colossal eruption. Deep beneath the verdant landscapes of Flores Island, a geological drama was about to unfold. Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki, the male mountain, a name that belies the raw, untamed energy it holds within, roared to life, awakening from its slumber with a ferocity that shook the very foundations of the island. The eruption was sudden and violent, a cataclysmic event that transformed the tranquil scenery into a scene of fiery chaos. Tearing the sky with a pillar of smoke and fire, the eruption painted a terrifying masterpiece against the canvas of the heavens. A deep rumble echoed through the valleys, a primal sound that resonated with the Earth's ancient power. This was followed by a deafening boom as the volcano's peak burst open, unleashing the pent-up fury that had been brewing for years. Superheated rock, gas, and ash were ejected with incredible force, shot into the atmosphere, reaching staggering heights and spreading a dark shroud across the sky. The sky transformed, turning a menacing dark gray as the ash cloud blotted out the sun, casting an eerie twilight over the land. For those living nearby, in the shadow of the once familiar mountain, the familiar mountain became a terrifying threat, a symbol of nature's unpredictable and destructive force. Homes and lives were endangered, forcing communities to confront the raw power of the earth. This was one of Indonesia's largest eruptions in over a decade, a stark reminder of the country's position on the Ring of Fire. The scale of the event drawing comparisons to Mount Merapi's devastating 2010 blast, a benchmark of volcanic fury in recent history. Shockwaves rippled across the region, a tangible manifestation of the immense energy unleashed by the eruption. The dramatic event captured global attention, highlighting the ever-present threat of volcanic activity around the world. The eruption served as a potent reminder of Indonesia's volatile geology, its location on the infamous Ring of Fire making it a hot spot for seismic and volcanic events. The male mountain had spoken, its voice echoing across the islands and around the world, its voice a roar of fire and ash, a testament to the raw, untamed power that lies dormant beneath our feet. Nature's power was on full display, a spectacle of destruction and creation intertwined, reshaping the world in an instant, leaving an indelible mark on the landscape and a lasting impression on the human spirit. To truly understand the recent eruption of Lewotobi Laki-laki, a majestic yet volatile force of nature, we must delve beneath the surface, venturing into the hidden realms where the Earth's raw power resides. We need to explore the very anatomy of a volcano. At its most basic, a volcano is a mountain, often imposing and awe-inspiring, characterized by a vent, a conduit that leads down to a vast subterranean pool of molten rock. This is magma, a fiery, viscous substance simmering deep within the Earth's crust, a reservoir of immense energy. When the pressure within this magma chamber builds to a critical point, exceeding the strength of the surrounding rock, it erupts with a force that can be truly cataclysmic, much like the sudden, fizzing release of pressure when opening a shaken soda bottle. The scale, of course, is vastly different. Our planet's outer shell, the crust, isn't a single solid piece. Instead, it's a mosaic of massive tectonic plates, constantly, albeit slowly, shifting, grinding against each other, and colliding in a perpetual dance of geological forces. Volcanoes often find their fiery birthplaces where these colossal plates converge or diverge, creating zones of weakness in the Earth's crust. And Indonesia, with its stunning archipelago, sits squarely on the infamous Ring of Fire, a horseshoe-shaped region encircling the Pacific Ocean, renowned as home to a greater concentration of active volcanoes than anywhere else on the globe. As magma ascends from the depths, dissolved gases within it begin to form bubbles. These bubbles, much like those in a carbonated drink, expand rapidly as the pressure decreases, and this expansion is a key ingredient in making volcanic eruptions so violently explosive. The sheer force of the eruption shatters the surrounding rock into countless, razor-sharp fragments, creating what we know as volcanic ash. This cloud of ash is then blasted high into the atmosphere, reaching incredible altitudes and spreading across vast distances. But don't let the name fool you. This ash isn't the soft, powdery substance you might imagine. In reality, it's incredibly abrasive, composed of minuscule shards of rock and volcanic glass, each one a potential irritant and hazard. Volcanic eruptions are far more complex and powerful than mere smoke and fire. They represent a direct and dramatic connection to the Earth's fiery core, a glimpse into the planet's primordial power. Over geological timescales, volcanoes play a crucial role in shaping the very continents and oceans that define our world. And while their eruptions can be undeniably destructive, leaving behind trails of devastation, they are also vital contributors to the Earth's natural cycles, enriching the soil and influencing the climate. Therefore, the recent eruption of Lewotobi Laki-laki serves as a dramatic and compelling example of these powerful forces at work, a reminder of the Earth's dynamic nature. The ground beneath our feet is never quite as still and stable as it might seem. It's a living, breathing entity, constantly being reshaped by the forces within. The scale of Lewotobi Laki-laki's eruption was staggering. Its ash cloud soared 18 kilometers, twice the altitude of a commercial jet. The plume, a mix of gas, rock, and ash, expanded into a giant mushroom-shaped cloud visible from 150 kilometers away. Ash reaching the stratosphere means it can travel vast distances, affecting weather and air travel far beyond Flores. The eruption's power was immense, a full-throated roar from deep within the Earth. It ranked among Indonesia's most significant volcanic events since 2010. The mountain didn't just clear its throat, it unleashed its very core into the sky. For scientists and locals alike, it was a terrifying, unforgettable spectacle. Nature's energy had reached for the heavens. The ash cloud's journey had only begun after reaching its peak. High-altitude winds carried the plume across the Flores Sea, casting a gray shadow over land and water. Ash rained down, blanketing villages and forests, turning vibrant landscapes into monochrome scenes. For locals, the ash was more than a nuisance. It threatened homes, water, and crops. Finer ash particles drifted for hundreds of miles, creating a major hazard for aviation. The cloud entered busy international flight corridors, posing invisible danger to aircraft. Volcanic ash can melt in jet engines, causing catastrophic failures. Advisory centers tracked the cloud, warning airlines as it drifted toward Bali, 800 kilometers away. Even at that distance, the ash was a serious threat to flights. The sky had become a silent, hazardous expanse. For thousands making their homes on Lewotobi Laki-laki's fertile slopes, life is a delicate balance. They understand the risks, yet the allure of the land is undeniable. But when the volcano rumbled and erupted, it triggered a desperate flight for survival. The familiar rhythm of daily life was shattered in an instant. Families, with a sense of urgency, grabbed only the bare essentials they could carry, knowing that time was of the essence. Every possession left behind was a painful sacrifice. As thick volcanic ash darkened the sky, turning day into an eerie twilight, it choked the air, making each breath a struggle. The very air they depended on had become a threat. Thankfully, authorities acted fast, swiftly organizing evacuations to move people away from the immediate danger zone. Their coordinated efforts were crucial in managing the crisis. Emergency shelters were quickly established, providing a safe haven for those forced to leave their homes. These shelters became beacons of hope in a time of uncertainty. In these havens, displaced families found not only safety from the immediate threat, but also a sense of community amidst the chaos. They received food, essential supplies, and perhaps most importantly, unwavering support from their community, reinforcing the bonds that held them together. The volcanic soil, enriched by past eruptions, is undeniably fertile, drawing people to live here despite the inherent risks. It's a land of abundance and peril, intertwined. But each eruption forces a painful choice upon them, the choice between their livelihood, deeply rooted in this land, or their very lives. Evacuation inevitably meant leaving behind cherished homes, hard-earned possessions, and the crops that sustained them, all blanketed in ash. Yet, in the face of such devastation, survival, the instinct to protect oneself and one's family, came first and foremost. Remarkably, despite the scale of the eruption and the widespread evacuation, there were no immediate casualties reported. This is a testament to the effectiveness of early warnings disseminated to the communities and the swift, decisive action taken by authorities. For weeks, authorities had been diligently monitoring the volcano's activity, watching for any signs of increased unrest and potential eruption. They raised alert levels as needed, keeping communities informed and actively preparing them for the possibility of evacuation. And when the time came, residents heeded the warnings, understanding the gravity of the situation and the importance of following evacuation orders. Their quick and responsible response, born from preparedness and trust in the authorities, undoubtedly saved countless lives. The people were safe, sheltered from the immediate danger, their basic needs met in the temporary havens. But even as they found refuge, their world, the landscape they knew and loved, was being transformed, buried under a thick blanket of volcanic ash. The effectiveness of disaster management, combined with the unwavering spirit of community cooperation, turned what could have been an overwhelming tragedy into a testament to human resilience, a story of strength in the face of adversity. The mountain's fury, a display of nature's raw power, was ultimately met with the unwavering resolve and indomitable spirit of the human heart. The eruption's impact reached far beyond Flores, disrupting global air travel. The ash cloud posed a lethal threat to jet engines, which can't detect ash on radar. Airlines had no choice but to ground flights as the cloud drifted into key flight paths. Bali's airport saw dozens of cancellations, stranding travelers and causing chaos across the region. Flight cancellations are costly, but safety comes first. No airline risks flying through volcanic ash. The skies fell silent as planes waited for the all-clear. This wasn't the first time Indonesian volcanoes halted travel. The region's geology demands constant vigilance. Airlines and authorities must always be ready to reroute or ground fleets instantly. Lewotobi Laki-laki's eruption was a stark reminder. One event can halt a global industry. Nature's reach extends even to the busiest skies. For thousands of tourists, paradise became a waiting game. Bali's beaches and culture drew travelers from around the world, but the eruption halted their plans. Cancelled flights stranded many, while others were stuck at home, unable to begin their vacations. Tour operators scrambled to help, and local businesses felt the economic sting of lost income. Travelers spent holidays rebooking flights and extending hotel stays, their plans up in the air. Some made the best of it, exploring new parts of Bali, while locals offered hospitality. Uncertainty lingered. The volcano was still active, and no one knew when flights would resume. Even in paradise, nature is in charge. A distant eruption had become a personal disruption for thousands. As Lewotobi Laki-laki's fury grew, Indonesian authorities took decisive action. The Geological Agency raised the alert to level 4, triggering emergency protocols. The exclusion zone around the volcano was doubled to 7, even 8 kilometers, keeping more people out of harm's way. The danger wasn't just ash. Pyroclastic flows, avalanches of gas and rock, can destroy everything in their path. Expanding the zone protected villages from deadly currents, flying rocks, and toxic gases. Police and military enforced evacuations, keeping residents safe despite the hardship of leaving everything behind. The decision was based on scientific data and modeling of the volcano's behavior. It was a proactive, life-saving strategy. In the face of nature's unpredictability, preparation made all the difference. As the ash cloud faded, a cautious calm returned. Flights resumed, and stranded tourists continued their journeys. For Flores residents, recovery would be slow. Villages and farms lay buried in ash. Cleanup was monumental, and the land would take time to heal. The volcano remained at high alert, a constant reminder of nature's power. People stayed vigilant, wearing masks and following official updates. The eruption showcased both nature's might and human resilience. For Flores, the journey to recovery had just begun, a humbling lesson in respect for our ever-changing planet.